What's up, my traders? How are you? Post NFP day to day with huge moves in the markets because NFP was weaker than expected. You are pumped, eh? Okay, let's start with Euro. Euro ripped higher after the weaker than expected NFP. To be honest, I was expecting 107 to hold, but decided to move higher to the next resistance cluster that is coming just above 107.40. And for now it's stalling, I believe. Enough for today. We are gonna stay here or correct lower. Okay, this move was a little bit expected. I mean, if you follow me, on Wednesday after Yellen's US Treasury announcement of regarding the T-bill issuance, the bond issuance in general, we saw that the market spiked higher because they implied that yields are gonna go are enough for now and we are gonna go lower. I don't know, can you hear me? Type in the chat if you can hear me. In the meantime, let me enjoy my cigar. Okay, so market shifted to dollar negative bias after Wednesday, and we were looking for buying opportunities that came after the Fed. We saw the dip just post-Fed and then continuing only higher. Okay, good. And today, of course, we have had the news, but even without the news, even if payrolls were better than expected, we would have just seen one leg lower, buying opportunity, and then ripped higher again. Especially after FOMC that JP Paulson was dovish. I don't know if you saw it or you read any analysis saying the opposite, but he implied regarding December hike that we will decide on December. So this is dovish. They're not gonna hike. We are gonna pause and only cut from now on. According to my experience, I said that last week, and also we can see that yields have topped for now. This is the 10-year bond future of Treasury, the T-note, and it created a bottom here and now shifted higher. Currently we are testing very crucial resistance 108.17. Okay, maybe we have a correction now, but the bottom is in for now. This can also be seen in the yields. This is 10-year yields. And you know, I called the bottom the top in yields when we touched the 5%. And we ripped lower then. And every analyst in Twitter was seeing higher rates. No, guys, we are not gonna see higher rates for now. This is done. Maybe we have another retest of 4.8, 4.9%, but this is highly unlikely. The trend has shifted now and the yields are going lower. That's why we saw this big shift in the stock markets this S&P after bottoming just above 4100. We saw this 200 pips points rally. This is 5% higher. Huge move. And now there is the big resistance at 4400, and this might give us a correction next week, but I don't see big correction coming. I mean 4270 would be very, very hard to break below. This momentum that we are seeing is huge, and also the news are positive from the situation in Gaza. We see de-escalation there, and I don't know, I don't see any other catalyst for stocks to move lower. Also, don't forget, we are entering the last 60 days of trading, and usually we have a huge market rally. Last year we have had 16-70% move in November, December. This November we started with 1-5% move. Let's see how this continues. But I'm afraid perma bears are gonna be disappointed. Now you are asking me for oil. Oil, it's breaking lower because of this de-escalation in the situation in Gaza. But for a longer term, I am bullish in oil. I see this as correction. Also, we see the moving average pointing to a bullish trend. Yes, okay, I know you can see this pattern as a head and shoulders. Okay, remains to be seen, but I don't see big move lower. I don't see how oil can break below 77, 78 dollars, especially. Okay, maybe we don't have big escalation in Gaza, but the situation remains, and also winter is coming, and the situation with Russia and Ukraine regarding the natural gas is gonna put pressure on oil too, to the upside. And don't forget that inflation will drive oil prices higher as well. Okay, I'm drinking and smoking. I know it's not a good example, but it's Friday. Euro USD, what to say here? We see this rip higher, but don't forget we are coming from 112 something, and we can take this move just as corrective only. Of course, this can continue higher, but I don't see how this can go above 109.50, 110. And don't forget, okay, Fed may pause, but what ECB will do? Cut. ECB is always behind the curve, and always
failed.
We have had something, and always ECB follows the Fed. Okay, don't forget this. So I see the move now higher for the euro, but it's gonna be limited. Same situation for the cable. Okay, big move today, covering some shorts, but the big resistance is here, as we see. I don't see this moving above 124, 125 easily. Okay, and situation in Europe and the UK is gonna be worse than the US. Don't forget this. Now, USD CAD. If you remember, I told you the best pair to go short dollar is CAD because oil was going higher, stocks were going higher. It was about to happen, this move lower. But despite this big almost 200 pips move lower, I still see strong supports for USD CAD, and I believe we're gonna have a reversal soon next week towards 137, 138 again. Now gold. 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 It's trading higher. It is Friday. Market is afraid of the weekend, but okay, we have had the news regarding the de-escalation. That's why we don't see big move higher. But this can change if we have any event during the weekend. If we don't have, I believe next week we are gonna test 1950, this area here, and maybe if we break 1950 35, this cluster here of support, then we are gonna move straight down to 1900 and maybe below. Because okay, inflation is coming off, yields coming off, so this is putting pressure to the downside for gold. Questions? Do we have any questions? Or I should close? Nasdaq, we see that it's hitting this long-term resistance line. So next week I see correction here too, like S&P and like Dow. But don't expect a big move to the downside, okay? It's gonna be a healthy correction because we have had this week 1, 2, 3, 4, all days were positive. Very, very strong move higher. But we have seen this play again, you see. Here, and then big moves next week to the downside. I took some profits from my longs in some stocks in Nasdaq and waiting. Talking about stocks, I sold my Tesla position. Where is it? Okay. Okay. I had this 222 as target, so I liquidated my position here and now correcting lower. Maybe we see a move to close this gap at 210. And then correct, continue higher, I don't know. What else? DXY, you want DXY? Yeah, it's the inverse of the Euro chart, okay? We broke the support here at 105.40 and then continue lower, but plenty of support to the downside as we see. This is gonna reverse higher next week for sure, okay? Don't worry. Chances 30-year return to 5%. Yes, why not? Also, we see it touched this is the future, okay, the T bond. Touched moving average and rejected. So maybe we're gonna see one move lower towards 110 next week. What else? You have any other question, or I will close the chat, the live. PayPal. I still believe that PayPal is gonna test 60. It's very, very oversold, and it had very good results. Apple. Let's see Apple. Apple, you see what happened. I respected the technical situation, so the results from China, the sales were down more than expected, so not so good news for Apple. But of course it's Apple, okay. This is not going to collapse. It's a healthy correction towards 165, 167. BTC, you want BTC? BTC, you know my view, lower. We had this break to the upside, that was false break, so we must see at least one move towards 32,000. And of course, if we break this support here, 32,800, there is nothing below. It's gonna go down to 30,000 very, very quickly. Same for Ethereum. Okay. I see this flag here. If breaks lower, then it's gonna go again below at 1600 handle. Of course, if the situation in Gaza gets worse and we have escalation, of course oil, dollar, gold will move higher, and stocks will move lower. Of course, stocks, don't forget, are very fragile because we have had a huge move. Okay, we have had huge rally this week, so a correction is gonna come regardless of escalation or not. Okay. Okay, that's all. Have a nice weekend, recharge your batteries, and come back next week.